there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be talking about 15 of my favorite romances that were published this last summer. So this would include all of the romances that I rated 4 stars and above. So 4, 4.5, and 5 stars. I'm not including backlist titles. I am just including titles that have been published from June to August. I'm not doing them in any particular favorites order. I am doing them kind of in the order that they were published roughly. As always, I will link all of the romances that I talk about down below. I would love to hear your favorite romances that you read in the summer, and specifically ones that were published this summer. So since I have so many books to talk about, let's get right into it. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about the books. I think I'm just going to talk about the tropes and things in those books. The first one is The Enemy Trap by MAREN. This is a enemies to lovers sports romance with the surprise baby. This is MAREN's debut novel and it was short, sweet, and funny. Then we have The Perfect Catch by Megan Quinn. This was the newest book in the Brentwood baseball series. This is a grumpy sunshine romance that is also forbidden, and it's a sports romance. This one is definitely on the spicier side. Then we have Say Yes by Kandi Steiner, and this one is labeled as a nostalgic 90s summer romance. It has really good disability representation. Both the main characters are artists, and I found it to be really heartfelt as well. Then we have You Loved Me Once by CORINNE. This kind of teeters on women's fiction versus romance, but it did have a romance in here, and it's a romance between 2 doctors. It's very emotional and definitely had me thinking. Then we have The Mixtape by Brittany C. Cherry, and this is a rock star romance. It's a story of 2 people who come from completely different worlds coming together. This one also is extremely dramatic, if that is your thing. Then we have What If You and Me by Ronnie Lauren, and this is a neighbors to lovers romance, which is one of my favorite tropes. It's also grumpy sunshine and it has disability representation. Then I have The Spark by Vi Keeland. This had a really fun meet cute. It's a one-night stand romance where the 2 characters end up meeting months later after the fact, and they end up having a romance afterward, and it is a forbidden romance as well. Then is The Bet by Max Monroe. This is the first book in a new series. This also is another really funny meet cute. The 2 main characters have a chance encounter, and it's kind of a dual mistaken identity as well. It's kind of friends with benefits to more, and it is also a lot spicier than I was expecting. Then we have Waylaid by Serena Bowen. This is the most recent book in the True North series. It is a new adult small town romance, and it also has an element of mystery and amnesia. It's kind of a second chance romance, but I wouldn't categorize it as a true second chance romance, but it does have that element. Then we have Tempt Thy Neighbor by TEAGAN. This is the last book in the Roommate Romp series, and this is a roommate to lovers romance. It is a childhood enemies to adult kind of lovers story. Also, it's a workplace romance, so it has a lot of tropes that I really loved. Then there's Someone You Love by Kristen Granada. This is a forced proximity summer romance. It takes place at an inn, so it's small town. It has really good disability representation and it's very emotional. Then I have King of the Court by R.S. Gray, and this is a small town sports romance. Definitely 2 people from different sides of the tracks. And this one is full of lots of drama. It's also the virgin heroine trope, which isn't usually my thing, but it was done pretty well here. Then we have A Photo Finish by ELSIE Silver, and this is the second book in the Gold Rush Ranch series. And this is a small town romance. It's also somewhat of a second chance romance. Also, the hero is prior military. It has disability and PTSD representation. There's forced proximity, and it is very emotional. And the 2 main characters met in a very interesting way. Then I have Feels Like Love by Jenna Hartley, and this is the first book in the Alondra Valleys series. This is a small town romance that has 2 of my favorite tropes. It's single mom as well as brother's best friend. And then lastly, we have The Aristocrat by Penelope Ward. This is kind of a fresh take on royalty romance, as the hero in this story is a duke. It takes place during the summertime, and our 2 main characters come from completely different worlds, and they have a whirlwind romance. So yeah, that is my quick rundown of my favorite romances that came out in the summer of 2021. I didn't want to go into too much detail because I've reviewed all of these books and I'm sure a lot of them will be included in future recommendation videos, but I just wanted to let you guys know if you are looking for some newer romances to read, I would recommend all of these. I would love to hear if you've read any of these books. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video.